Hello, and welcome to the fourth video in this series of videos I'm making on the SDR, which covers 100 kilohertz to 1.7 gigahertz. This video is going to be fairly short. I'm just going to talk a little bit about plugins for Sdr Sharp. It's the plugins which make Sdr Sharp such a great program to use. You can customize Sdr Sharp any way you like with the addition of plugins. One of these plugins is called Level Meter. This is an excellent addition, especially for shortwave broadcasts, because it gives you a signal strength meter. You can get Level Meter at levelmeter.sub-web.de, and you'll click on download, and the latest version is v04, so we will download v04 and open it with Windows Explorer, and you will have these three files. The only two you need are the two that say Sdr Sharp, so I'll left click this one, then I'll hold down my control key and left click the other one so I have both selected. I'll right click on one of them and go to copy, and I'll go down here to the Sdr Sharp folder and go to shortwave, Sdr Sharp, and paste those here. Now, just because you have the files here for the plugin, Sdr Sharp doesn't know that they're there. You have to make an entry into the plugins file, which is right here. To do that, I'm going to right click on plugins and just go to open with Notepad, and we'll maximize that. So here we will have to put an entry for the level meter. You can The 5 plugins listed here are just the default ones that come with Sdr Sharp. I suppose the ones that you don't plan to use you could actually remove if you so desired, but to add one, I like to put mine on the top and put them in the order that I use them, by most used to least used. To do that, you'll want to click at the end of Sharp Plugins here, hit enter, and space over twice, and you can copy and paste the entry that you need, and that entry, if I go back to the level meter zip file, is here in this readme. I am going to just quickly copy this, and there's not a readme here, so I'll just paste it temporarily to the shortwave folder I have for Sdr Sharp, and I'll open this with Notepad and maximize it. It should be here in the top section. Yeah, this right here is the entry we need, so we'll hold down the left mouse button and highlight the entire line, starting and ending at the arrowheads. So make sure you have those arrowheads highlighted and everything in between. Right click and copy it, and I will close this Notepad, go to the other one, and right here I'll right click and paste it. So now you can see the level meter entry is in the plugins file. I'll close plugins and make sure to save it, and now I will open Sdr Sharp. And right here you can see level meter, which I'll open. Let me go back to the time signal and hit start and unmute the audio. So yeah, you can see that's coming in pretty good. It's a lot easier to read this meter instead of, you know, kind of looking at this grid and coming up with an idea of the frequency. So signal strength. And you also can see that it goes up and down, so it's way easier to see that on a meter as opposed to trying to line it up here. Let me mute the audio. But that's how you would install any plugin that's available for Sdr Sharp. I'm going to go back to the web browser. You can find a few plugins on the sdrsharp.com website, but one of the best websites dealing with SDRs is www.rtl-SDR.com. They have all kinds of articles and news. There's a quick start guide which talks about setting up Sdr Sharp, which has been the point of some of these videos, but there's other programs to use an SDR with. There's HD SDR, and there is SDR Radio version 2. So Sdr Sharp's not the only game in town. I just like it because it supports those plugins, so I can customize it to work the way I want. As you can see here, here's a standard SDR, which doesn't do shortwave like the ones I showed you on eBay, and this actually has an F-type antenna connector. But anyway, you can explore around here. Under software, they have a list of Sdr Sharp plugins. So, it talks about the unit trunking plugin, and there's articles which show you how to set it up correctly, and so on. This one here, the Frequency Manager plus Scanner and Scanner Metrics and Scanner Entry Package plugin. That's kind of long-winded, but this is one you're more than likely going to wind up installing. The big reason is this plugin lets you create groups, and once you have a few groups created, like you might have a group for your local police, your local fire, maybe one for the state police, whatever. And once you have your groups created, in Sdr Sharp you would tune to the frequency you want to add to the group, and you would click this edit button, and the window that pops up shows the frequency twice, and I like to set the frequency the same in both entries. And then you can give it a name, and then you can pick the group you want to put it in and add it to the group. And once you have some, you can select a scanner group and press scan, and SDR will scan like a regular police scanner, so you're not stuck to listening to just one frequency all the time. But yeah, there's just all kinds of plugins available for Sdr Sharp. Sky's the limit. There's the CT CSS detector plugin, there's the DCS plugin. But on my Sdr Sharp that I use for, I want to talk about this too, but as I was saying, on my Sdr Sharp I use for scanning the police, really the only additional plugins I have are that frequency manager that I was just talking about, and I have both the CTCSS and DCS detectors, and that I also use the level meter, but I don't have it opened. I got it minimized. I just so happened to have it there because I was messing with it at the time, but I found out that usually it's the same signal strength since most of the broadcasts are on repeaters. But anyway, I want to talk about this DSD Plus GUI interface plugin. Do not use this if you're gonna try to decode digital broadcasts. instead of using this plugin, it's a lot better to just get DSD Plus directly. You extract the files to a folder and you open DSD Plus, and since you're already set up to pipe your audio, DSD Plus will just start working. Let's see. Do they have that here? Well, they have some tutorials. You can, as I was saying in one of the other videos, you can track aircraft. You can even look at NOAA weather satellite imagery. There's just so much you can do with these SDRs. It's such an awesome technology that's now available to the public. I used to have a police scanner about 10 years ago, and I just kind of got bored with it because you can only listen to the police for so long that you just get burned out on it. But I found out about these SDRs, and I ordered one of the USB ones, and that brought my interest back into radio monitoring. And then when you find out there's an SDR that can also do shortwave, it's like, oh wow. And I like to listen to those shortwave broadcasts. I wish there was a few more that were a bit more interesting in the shortwave video I made, but you can search for shortwave broadcast schedules, and remembering that they're in UTC, and you got your Windows clock set down here to show you UTC. You can know when those broadcasts are available and listen in on them. But I think that'll conclude this video and the series. As time goes by, there's going to be newer versions of Sdr Sharp and newer versions of the plugins. But I think this video should still cover future versions. If it doesn't, I might make a newer version of this. And I think we have everything. So I hope you enjoyed these videos. If you have any questions or comments, please comment below, and perhaps myself or someone else can answer your question for you. But there are forums available, especially here on RTL-SDR. They have a forum, and you can ask questions, and it will be seen by more people. So, and there's other SDR forums out there. So anyway, as I said, I hope you enjoyed the videos, and have a good one. And welcome to listening to SDRs.